Hello, Vitarain here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video on mob pathing. Mob pathing is the reason why sometimes in dungeons enemies like to just chase you forever, even if you're permanently stealthed, and if you mess it up you get a shitstorm like you see in this video here. Now before we get into the bulk of this video, I'm going to explain the mechanics behind mob pathing using this little diagram I made in Microsoft Paint. The best way to describe mob pathing is by explaining what's going on inside the enemy's code. And what's going on is you have this certain boundary on the screen, and I'm going to represent that boundary with the red line. And when you pass that boundary, a command is sent to the group of enemies, and that command is saying, move towards player X being the one who crossed the boundary. And that command will continue until it is either completed or overwritten by a different command. So if you didn't have stealth, the enemies will run towards you and eventually they'll get into aggro range and they'll start fighting you. So the command is overwritten by fight player X. But we don't fight enemies in dungeons, we skip them because it's faster. And the problem with that is since you're stealth, they can't fight you, so they'll just keep moving towards you. So that command will go until it is completed. And the way that the command is completed is when they cannot move any closer towards you. So the way that we get around this is we stop moving for a few seconds, let the enemies get to us, and once they can't move any closer, the enemies don't know what to do and they just stop moving. And that's how we do what we call pathing the enemies. Now, one important thing to note is that each time somebody passes this boundary, the command is overwritten by a new one. So if player X crosses the boundary, and then like a second later player Y crosses the boundary, the move towards player X command is overwritten by move towards player Y. Now, the person that you see circled in the video, Tormented Sylvari, is the last person to be crossing this boundary, so the last command is going to be move towards Tormented Sylvari. So as you can see, the enemies run up towards Tormented Sylvari. Once they can't get any closer, they stop, they don't know what to do, they're just stuck there, and we continue moving on through the dungeon. Now, since you know everything that you need to know about mob pathing, the remainder of this video is just going to be showing an example method of stealthing past all of these groups of pathing enemies in each of the dungeons. Because the enemies are pathing towards you and you're going to be most of the time getting your stealth by blasting smoke fields, it's very easy to accidentally hit one of the enemies and get revealed and in turn kill your entire group. So in each of these clips I'm going to show at least a relatively easy way. Might not be the fastest way of stealthing past these enemies, but it'll be good just for your average everyday runs to make them smooth and get through the dungeon without having any group wipes. Also, later on in this video, I'll quickly explain about a second type of mob pathing, which I like to call trigger patrols. There are very few instances of this type of mob pathing, so I'll just wait until the video gets into one of those instances. I'll put a little annotation in the video right here if you wanted to skip to that section, but otherwise just keep watching. This video should be a great resource for thieves who are learning to stealth their group through the dungeon. And yeah, thanks for watching. right here you are going to see the first instance of that triggered patrol that I was talking about earlier. And triggered patrols are very similar to mob pathing, except the one difference is once you cross that boundary, instead of the command telling the enemies to move towards player X, the command simply says move towards location X. So in short, all it means is you only have to stealth past the enemies. Just you have to be cautious of them running up towards you and maybe getting hit by your cluster bombs and your blasting stealth and getting you revealed. Other than the clip of Sar's Embrace Path 3 that I just showed you, the only other two instances that I can recall of there being trigger patrols are in Citadel or Crucible of Eternity Paths 2 and 3 at the top of the staircase, which you'll see coming up soon, and in a Raw Path 1 after Lupicus, but both of those skips are very easy and you just stealth past them. Not much more to it.